Hello everybody, welcome back to Dancy Plays. I'm Dancy, this is Larson, this is the end of Danganronpa.
This is depressing.
Larson's sad.
Big depresso. She said, Peepo, smile.
She apparently loves us, and we don't believe her.
I don't at all. Who the fuck is she? Who is she?
She's Junko fucking Inashima. Duh.
Like, what happened to her in the last 2 years? So, like, she didn't go to school with us, I don't think.
She did.
Did she?
Yeah, she hid
What the fuck happened?
Both her...
I mean, they knew that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, but, like, what about Junko? What?
So first of all, Mukuro and Junko are seen in the pictures. The reason Junko's face is covered up in all the pictures is so these fuckers can't look at the picture and be like, that's not what we remember Junko looking like. And B, I think they just knew them as, like, the titles that they were entered into the school as, which is Mukuro the Ultimate Soldier and Junko the Ultimate Fashionista.
But there was the thing in the headmaster's notebook saying that Mukuro was connected to the ultimate despair.
That's true.
I need to keep an eye on her.
Well, we can continue the game and find out, I suppose.
We never even thought to look at Junko's thing.
Yeah, Makoto wasn't suspicious back then.
All about the idea we came up with as the ultimate despair! Our plan to bring despair to all mankind!
The ultimate despair? All mankind?
Let's go back in time 2 years, okay? Back to when everyone first came to this school. School life during that first year overflowed with hope and happiness. Oh boy, it was just the worst! Everyone was enjoying themselves so much! You were all having the time of your lives!
Was Celeste enjoying herself? Was she... She doesn't look very happy.
But that couldn't last forever, of course. The peacefulness only made it through that first year. Because after that, an event unfolded that hammered a soul-crushing despair into all of humanity. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end. And as you can imagine, the school was no exception. The tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
What are you?
That's what I'm fucking saying.
What do you mean?
The most tragic event in human history. And the ultimate despair that caused it. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated family?
You have a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an ideological thing. Despair is contagious, you know. It's almost like a natural phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it. And now the entire world has fallen into despair.
In other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway, unrelated to the matter at hand.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much damage. You guys were the only survivors. The members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left. And then,
Something super neat happened! Now pay attention, because this is important, and I'm only gonna say it once! So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter! That's right! It was transformed into a shelter!
Okay.
Ah! I said it twice!
Now, someone was responsible for that transformation, for creating what would eventually become your prison. Do any of you know who that might have been?
The one who turned Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolated us here, the Prime Minister, of course.
I got it! It could only have been the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us. To protect us from the despair and tragedy taking place outside. That's why he asked us to make that promise. To say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh start.
Yeah, the headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake. It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea. He had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you safe became a cage that made it impossible for you to escape despair. I have to say, it really helped me out a lot. It saved me a ton of time.
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off the windows, the doors, all the exits.
What?
Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
Yeah, like
And then you forgot all about it and started bitching about how you were trapped in here.
I'm just remembering certain things. Like, for example, do you remember back in, like, Act 3 when we went to the physics lab and stuff like that, and they were like, oh yes, a student from a previous year made this and such.
Yeah.
Like, is that one of us? Or was it a different class?
It might have been a different class.
Once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get to work. And thus began the killing game.
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the last 2 years waiting for that moment.
That moment where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy was so that you could be a part of it.
You only let us live so we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Why? Why would you do that?
Why have we not just fucking killed her already?
No, literally.
Because this was so much more than a simple high school deathmatch. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
What are you saying?
Well, it would seem that there's a little bit left out there. A few souls unwilling to give up hope. So I thought I should show them, which is why I...
Well, why don't you tell me?
The mastermind did just show everyone the outside world. That was... Hangman's Gambit. Wow. Could it be?
I wonder what the word is.
I'm so confused.
It's so hard.
Now I understand.
Wow, you solved the Wordle for the day.
Oh my god.
You're talking about you hijacking the airwaves, aren't you?
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I'm talking about. To show the world the murders taking place at this school, which was meant to be a symbol of hope.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about. The world watched as you fell into despair and began to kill each other one after another. Despair is as contagious as any disease. Any hope left turns to despair.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people have tried to come and rescue you.
Oh my god.
Are you serious?
But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed around the school grounds, I had no problem expelling them.
You expelled them?
I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and trying to force their beliefs on the world. But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair. Death.
So you just used us? To bring despair to everyone in the outside world?
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
Give and take? You're so full of shit!
And there's a reason I chose you guys to survive when all the other students were dropping like flies.
You're so full
I
of
mean, we
shit.
built up 2 years of memories together. You were all my treasured classmates.
Sorry, that's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more when you found out a friend had betrayed you.
And that's the truth, which is what you wanted, right? So, does it make you feel utterly lost and hopeless? You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
Don't tell me. Did you seriously count on the possibility that we would solve your mystery?
And if we did, then what? Our final desire for creating this world of despair was so we could experience one last class trial. If you were bold enough to solve the mystery, only to discover that the truth was utterly hopeless, how would you react? What would you do?
Okay, Kyoko, calm down. Goddamn.
Goddamn.
Goddamn!
She's shaking.
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair, too! Like right fucking now!
Truth. Full of despair. That's...
Not to mention, all those motives I talked about were totally meaningless. I mean, with the world having ended and all.
Meaningless? Then we've been murdering each other for nothing?
And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering each other to get out.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates. We'd spent 2 years together.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
Alright.
Even I can't laugh at that.
We get it. We get it, okay? You're totally awesome, right? We get it already. So help us! I'll do anything! Just help me!
A peasant begging for his life? Oh, how delightful! We've never witnessed such a travesty firsthand.
But I'm sorry to say, begging doesn't work on me. All I want is despair, and there's no reason for it. And since there's no reason, there's no argument against it. There's just no understanding it. No argument, no understanding. What better definition of ultimate despair could there be?
Wait, hold on. You've just been going on about whatever you feel like, but there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
She's normal.
Damn.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself. So I don't acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another. In other words, you're not unlike Schrodinger's cat right now. Is that what you're saying? If so, what then?
Are you saying you won't accept the truth until you can go outside and see for yourself? Well, you better not. You go out into that world and you're all gunners for sure. Trust me, I know about any of this.
Well, even if it's all true, I refuse to give in. I refuse to lose to you. For the sake of everyone you've killed.
Huh? Everyone I've killed? What are you talking about? You're the ones who killed them!
I didn't kill anyone. I simply gave you a little nudge in the right direction.
Cough, cough,
And that's
Mukuro.
all it took for you to start killing each other. You're nothing but bloodthirsty animals.
That's why anyone was murdered here, peasant.
Say what you want about hope, but we're all creatures of instinct, right? Despair comes naturally.
Hell yes! That's funny as shit!
No! This isn't just some game to us. It's murder! Plain and simple. You stole our memories. Invented reasons for us to do it. You pushed us all into a corner. It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, don't you? That must be your hope, huh? But we don't have much time left to keep up this banter. We have to draw things to a close soon.
Yes.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. You didn't forget about that little rule, did ya? Oh, and also, since this'll be the last vote, I decided to change the rules.
What?
You guys so full of hope, and me so full of despair. I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished. If even one of you votes to punish Hope, well then, I'll consider that a win for me, and punish everyone on the side of Hope.
Even if it's just one person?
Oh, but don't worry, I won't be voting, of course.
Even if you don't, you've still got the upper hand in all this!
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. When I win, to punish you guys, you'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No fighting, no killing. That's your punishment.
What?
You mean, we just...
We'd have to just live here?
She's saying she'll let us live.
Oh no.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me, and make your way to the outside world.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists, where you'd likely be dead within a day.
What are you saying? So no matter what, we're doomed.
Wait a sec! I just got hit with an inspiration bomb! Dying of old age is boring as shit, right? The audience at home isn't gonna dig that at all! So, here's what'll happen. One of you will get to experience an instant, super impressive punishment!
What? You can't just...
Do you mean to say you'll execute one of us?
And I get to decide who's gonna have to suck it down!
I wonder who she would pick.
Makoto, you're up!
Oh,
Me?
Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds of trouble. I hate you!
So let me make this clear. Everyone has two choices in front of them. If a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the rest of you will live here in peace.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your lives.
sacrifice me? But that's...
What? Has your resolve softened? Have you lost confidence? Are you afraid of being punished? Don't you have faith in your friends?
No! That's not it!
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility of going against me.
Guys?
It's so beautiful. Your lovely faces, eroded by despair, have come together as one.
Besides, Kyoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
You were bold
What?
to assume that.
I mean, the headmaster's only wish was that all of you would survive, right? That's why he tried to trap you all here after all. The least you can do is try to honor your dead father's wishes.
Kyoko!
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So, who do you think's gonna give in? Whose despair is gonna sign your death warrant?
Who do you think it might be?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's between Hiro and Toko. Genocide Joe seems a little too excited to push the despair button.
You can cut this out, editing, Kayla. I'm trying to give you a chance to end the episode. I don't know, but we'll find out next time.
Oh, I thought you were asking me a legitimate question. I was like,
No,
what?
sorry, I was trying to give you a segue.
I don't know. We'll figure out next time when Dancy plays. Good night, everyone.